Good morning. Today we are going to finish up Unit 3 and talk about solving compound inequalities and graphing those on the number line. A compound inequality involves two inequality statements and solution sets. We have two cases, and repeat solving steps on both sides of the inequality and shade your solutions between A and B. When you write your solutions out, you have this little thing that has two inequalities but one variable there. The OR inequality will have an OR in the middle, and you're going to solve it separately and then shade solutions on either side. Just remember, open and close points still apply when you're graphing inequalities, and I'm going to show you a couple ways to do this. Okay, example 1, solve the inequality, graph the solutions on a number line. Here's what I will tell you. Students tend to make mistakes when I tell them they don't need to do this step, so I'm going to tell you, you do need to do it. Okay, this middle part stays together. Okay, we cannot do anything with that as far as breaking it up. We can just solve it when we look at both inequalities. Okay, so that -4 plus n has to stay together. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to split this into two inequalities. So the first inequality is -5 is less than or equal to -4 plus n. The second inequality is -4 plus n is less than 6. Once I've split that up, it makes it easier to solve. I'm just going to treat those like I did with my inequalities in the past and get my n's alone. So to get my n alone in each inequality, I'm going to add 4 to both sides so that those cancel, and I get -1 is less than or equal to n on the first one, and I get n is less than 10 on the second one. This was automatically an AND inequality because it started with it combined together into one big inequality, compound inequality. We can write our solutions back in that form, or you can write the word AND in between if you would like. It's completely up to you, but let's look to see how this looks on the number line. Okay, so I have -1 and 10 for my number line. 0's in the middle here somewhere. And for my -1, I have a closed dot. And then if I flip this around, remember, flip my inequality sign, it shows me I need to shade to the right. Okay. The second one I have n is less than 10, so that's an open dot, and it shows me I need to shade to the left. This is an AND inequality, which means I'm technically just shading in between. So what this tells me is my answers are between -1 and 10, and I can use -1, but I can't use -10. Okay, to write this actual solution out, I start with my smallest number on the left side, my variable in the middle, and my biggest number on the right side, and I bring my signs along with. Okay, so I had n is less than -10, so I still have n is less than -10, and I have -1 is less than or equal to n, so I have that there still as well. Okay, next problem. Notice there's an OR there, so I don't actually have to do anything, I just need to solve each inequality. Okay, so for the first one, p divided by 8, I'm going to multiply by 8 on both sides to get rid of that 8. So I'm left with p is greater than 8. I do not flip my sign because that was not a negative number. For the second one, I have p minus 3. So to get rid of that 3, I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So I get p is less than or equal to 1. It started as an OR, so I'm going to put the word OR in the middle. And I'm going to plot 1 and 8 on my number line. 5 is in here somewhere. And leave 1 more. I got 0 and 10. I have an open dot at 8. And that's showing me I'm shading to the right. And I have a closed dot at 1, and that one's showing me I'm shading to my left. This is typically what an OR looks like. So my answer is p is greater than 8, or p is less than or equal to 1. Let's do 2 more. Okay. Again, this one is an and I cannot break this part apart. So it needs to go with each one of them. So I have 4n minus 10 is less than or equal to -3 plus 3n. Apologize for any weird colors there. I'm not sure why that red is doing that. I'm going to draw my line through those and solve each one. So for the first one, I'm going to move my letters to the left side. So I'm going to do -3n on both sides. So I get n minus 10 is less than or equal to -3. I'm going to move my numbers to the right side. So I'm going to add 10 to both sides. Plus there. To get n is less than or equal to 7. For the second one, I'm going to subtract 3n from both sides to cancel that. To get -3 is less than or equal to n minus 6. And then I add 6 to both sides to get 3 is less than or equal to n. Okay, that one started out as an and. But this one's a little tricky to write my answers in there, so I'm going to show you what it looks like on the number line. I have a 3 and I have a 7. If I flip this around, I have this. So n is greater than or equal to 3. And then the other one is n is less than or equal to 7, so we're shading in the middle. Okay, and the arrangement's kind of weird, so what I do is I bring my smallest number down and my biggest number down, and I put my variable in the middle. And then I have less than or equal to signs there and there. You could also give me those answers and write the word and in the middle, like this, and you will be set. Okay, last one, we have an or. So solving the first one, I'm going to add 9 to both sides to get 3m is greater than or equal to 21. Whoops. So 3m is greater than or equal to 21. And then divide by 3 on both sides. We do not flip our sign because it wasn't a negative 3. For the second one, we're going to subtract 7 from both sides to get negative 9m is greater than or equal to 27. And then divide by negative 9 on both sides to get m is less than or equal to negative 3. This started as an or, so we should be able to just put the word or in the middle. We'll check. M is greater than or equal to 7. We have a closed dot shading to the right. Less than or equal to negative 3. Closed dot shading to the left. Still looks pretty good. So we have the word or in the middle. And this is our answer. Okay, go ahead and do the practice problems and let us know if you need any help. Remember, you will have a quiz over all of this tomorrow. Have a great day.